Well, hello everyone. Welcome to try number 2 for going live. Sorry about that little issue, my phone flipped over. Anyways, welcome to our first little tutorial class of chocolate dipped strawberries, which is perfect in time for Valentine's because I know so many people love to dip strawberries. It's one of the easiest and best way to celebrate Valentine's, and it is always a hit with everyone. I do know that a lot of people have issues with chocolate, so I'm here to absolutely help you with everything that we can do. So today I'm going to dip both chocolate, milk chocolate, and white chocolate. And to make it easier, I'm going to use the wafers so that people can see how the wafers are, and actual real chocolate, which I use Callebaut chocolate. So it's pretty easy. It's so much fun. You will love it. I promise it will demystify everything once you're done, and it'll make it easier. So, okay. So let's get started. Let's get the chocolate going so that we can get to dipping, okay? So before I started, I just put water in here. Look, oh, cold water, cold water. And you want to fill your water in your pot so that when you place your chocolate on top, it is still dry. And it doesn't touch, because you don't want it to touch, because water and chocolate are not friends. So I put my chocolate on here. Look, come. I will move you over here so you can see. Look at this chocolate on the thing. I usually do my temperature like medium because I don't have a lot of patience. Who does? Nobody does. Oh my gosh, look at everyone online. Okay, so I just kind of let my chocolate go, just do its thing, kind of melt away. But the big myth, the big issue everyone has is tempering chocolate. So you've got a ton of different ways to temper chocolate. The professional, fancy way is to basically is you're elevating the temperature of the chocolate to a certain degree, and then you have to bring it back down so you get that nice snap. But I'm lazy and I have no patience, maybe like you. So basically what I do is I call it my lazy tempering. So I just let barely any of my chocolate melt, and then I allow the melted chocolate to bring down the temperature but still melt my chocolate. So I will totally show you. Oh, our event is not in the page, it's in the group. I have no idea how to fix that. So, oops, I don't know even how to fix that, but we'll go with it. I figure people will figure it out. I say maybe Christy will make an announcement at the event to go to the group and it'll be there. I don't know. Okay, so while the chocolate is going, you have your lovely strawberries. Your strawberries need to be washed and dried very, very well so that you can make sure that they are perfectly dry, because again, water and chocolate do not do well together at all. They just have issues like all get out. So once you wash your strawberries, I put my strawberries on a paper towel, and then I put a regular towel under it just to absorb everything. So that's what you do. And then you let them all dry, and you just make sure they're all ready to go and there's no moisture at all. You take off any little thingies and make sure they're all good. I see that we do have a question. Ornella said, is the dark chocolate is real chocolate and the white is wafer? Yes. So the white chocolate I use is Merkin's wafers, which are very similar to Wilton. I also use regular real chocolate, but when I use the regular real for the white, it's not a true white because it's really chocolate and it's as white as it can get. So sometimes when I do this, I will do wafers for dipping and for decorative. Kind of play it by ear and see how it works for you. I just like the flavor of the Callebaut, and so that's mainly the chocolate that I use. Come, let's go see our chocolate. Come on. Look. So our chocolate is melting but ever so slowly. You can see just a very little bit of it is melted. It takes a while. It takes a while. Patience with chocolate is really the key, because if you don't have the patience with the chocolate, you will burn it. And you know it's burned when you don't have those nice ribbons. It seizes up and it becomes like rock solid. And I know a lot of people at that point get really scared and say, oh my gosh, maybe I should add Crisco, or maybe I should add just like a little bit of vegetable oil. And the problem is that the moment you add a fat of an oil to your chocolate will never harden. So it will become like a liquidy ganache for life. And that's definitely not what you want. So I see Monica asked, what brand of white do I use? This brand is Merkins, and you can find it everywhere. You can also use the Wilton wafers. You can use, pretty much any wafer you can use. The one thing I don't recommend, especially for white chocolate, is chocolate chips, because there's like a coating on them. So you will find, especially with the white, is very finicky, and it will seize up really, really quickly and turn into like a clump. And the moment it does that, it's over. Don't waste your time anymore with it. It's gone way too far. So we'll take our chocolate off and we'll start mixing it just to see if we're there yet. I do always maintain it on top of the double boiler, just because the water underneath can still, let me turn this so you guys can see it better. But just so the water underneath is still hot and it can still maintain the heat. And as you can see, that little bit of melted chocolate is what's going to melt the rest of our chocolate. And that will also maintain the coolness and not make the chocolate burn. So this chocolate, the milk that I use and the dark that I use is Callebaut chocolate, and it comes in this nice nifty block over here that I use. And if you ever see one of these blocks, you don't want to get intimidated by them. They really are great. You just kind of carve right at it and you'll make shavings. You can make shavings, and you want your chocolate to be in the smallest form so that it really melts as quick as it can. And no, you don't have to use a metal spoon. I use a metal spoon because it was the first thing I grabbed, but you know, I'll use a spatula, I'll use a wooden spoon. It's basically whatever I find the closest to me and I grab it. And I'm kind of one of those people who wants everything to look the same. So I had 2 metal spoons, so you can do that. And you can use a spatula to stir it. You can use anything you're comfortable with stirring, you can use it stirring. But as you can see, it is starting to melt each other. And it's maintaining where it's not getting too hot, it's not getting too cold, it's still shiny. And you know, when you go and you dip your chocolate, strawberries, or everyone's making your chocolate bombs and things like that, and then they come out really dull and dingy, it's because your chocolate technically wasn't tempered and it wasn't maintained at the right temperature. So this will still give you that beautiful gloss and that snap and all of that. I see Karen asked, do you have a reasonably priced source for milk chocolate? You can use Ghirardelli. You can use, the only thing I really don't recommend is I personally don't like the flavor of Nestle. When it goes against the strawberry, it's just not my favorite. To me, it totally belongs in a chocolate chip cookie. But when you go and you start putting it like a little bit more decadent, where you just have the chocolate and you have the strawberry, it's not enough oomph to carry on its own. It needs all that other yummy stuff. So you can also, Merkins makes wonderful chocolate ones also for the wafers, and you can do Ghirardelli, Lindt. I think Hershey's, Hershey's is totally fine. It just brings back all your little, younger memories and stuff. But it's not about, because this is only 2 ingredients, sometimes, when you spend a little bit more to get the better flavor, the better ingredient, you get a better outcome. And unlike when we're baking a cake or cookies and all this, it doesn't have all these other ingredients to magnify the flavor. So you're really just surviving on the chocolate and the strawberry. That's all you got. So you don't want to use semi-sweet or bitter. It'll be too bitter on the tongue. But as you see, we're still melting. And I'll be honest with you, if I wasn't like doing this for you, I would be doing something else. But as you can see, it's starting to ribbon. It's nice and it's smooth. And it's, you know, getting all chocolatey. It's very exciting. Well, hello, Yvonne. I'm so glad everyone found us, even though I made the epic failure and did not go in the event. So my bad on that. I am a first-time live virgin, and I promise I will do better next time, and I will figure out how to go in the event and not in the group. So hopefully somebody has posted on our page to say, hey everyone, these strawberries are being dipped in the group and not the event. Totally Melissa's fault. But so I have honestly been doing chocolate for so many years. My mom used to make chocolate when I was a kid in the chocolate molds. So chocolate has kind of been was my first go-to in baking. But it's always there, never goes away. It's a staple. Okay, so now as you can see, I only have a couple little clumps. And it really isn't like you have to mix it faster or not to make it better. I'm just like speeding it up so you don't have to see this chick standing here whisking chocolate for 30 minutes. So Amy asked, hi, is that when you know it's tempered? Is it ribbons? No, well, technically I just saw this recently that in pastry school, which I didn't go to like full pastry school, I just went to culinary, but you're supposed to tap your wrist right there. And if it is completely cool to your touch, that's how you know it's tempered. And as you can see, I didn't go, ouch. So we're good. And because I melt it so slowly, really not harshly, barely any heat, it stays in that, you see it's glossy, it's ribbony, and that's what you want. Okay, we're ready to dip. So let's dip. I'm going to, usually I maintain this under the double boiler, but I'm lame and forgot to take another one out. So I'm gonna just switch it for our white chocolate so that you can see how both go. Okay, so when I dip my chocolate, I live my life for everything with parchment paper. Me and parchment paper are the best friends ever. I buy pre-done sheets because I use them so much, but you can buy them on a roll or whatever, and I just place it in a cookie sheet. So here we go. You are going to take your strawberry, and I'm totally left-handed, so if this is like reverse for anyone, just yell at me. Okay, so you're going to take your strawberry, and you're going to dip it in the chocolate. And then I like to give it a little shake. And then I go like this. I kind of, if you can see, I kind of drag it on the bottom to get the excess off. And I put her down. Everything sweet is a her. And I put her down right there. So that way, we'll just kind of keep going through them, but let me make sure I have this all turned so that you can see everybody get plopped down. So, yes, Christy, we already discussed we're washing them. You're washing them and making sure they're dry and there's no moisture at all. And you're delicately holding it by our leaves. Do not take these leaves off because these are really your handles. And of course, keep them beautiful. So, hold it by your little leaves. You are going to just gently dip it in the chocolate. You're going to give it a little swish, swish, swing. And then you want to scrape the tush. And then I'm going to go like that and put her down. Is that good? Hopefully you can see with that. Okay, so we will just keep dipping. Oops, I was posting the group. Oh, Oh, good. Okay, so Christy is on it. But look at this. So we're just swinging it. Super easy. Scrape it off the bottom and flip it up. And they will, do you see them? They're just glossy and beautiful. So we will just keep dipping away. And then the one thing I did want to talk about as we are dipping away is when you are washing your strawberries, I want you to really look at them. So, because you have to remember, they're gonna get encased in chocolate. So if they aren't like perfect or solid, then we're gonna have a problem. So like you see, this guy has a bruise. I won't dip him because now his barrier has been broken and the moisture could be coming out. And you don't want that. And see how this guy has like a little dimple and you see how he's wet? Is because his moisture is coming out. So these are what I call, I'm a little hungry and I finished my order and I'm going to dip and eat immediately. So we would move them to the side for later. So Amber wanted to know where I bought the chocolate. So I buy all my chocolate, cocoa powder, and my blocks and everything from Worldwide Chocolate. And you can buy it online from them. I also buy my blocks at Restaurant Depot. If you happen to have one near you, I highly, highly recommend going. So basically to get into there, you really just need to have, your business formed and to have your EIN number, and then it's a free membership. They're great, they're wonderful, I highly recommend it. So, oh, and I see that the video, how far in advance can you make them? Okay, so they are a fruit. I do not like to dip my strawberries more than the day before I'm gonna use them, or my order's gonna be picked up, because the longer they sit, the strawberry starts to break down. It doesn't matter if it's in the fridge, it will break down, which means the moisture will start to come out of the strawberry behind the chocolate. The chocolate will start to sweat, and then at some point you can actually pull the casing of the chocolate off if you've waited really too long. So as we're dipping and still dipping these, and as you see, they go really, really fast. But come, let's check our white chocolate. Let's see. Okay, so our white chocolate is looking lovely. Let me grab it so that you can see the difference between the Callebaut, the real chocolate, and then the wafer. So, as you can see, I'm still like tagged with my chocolate over here. Okay, so as you see, it's melting beautifully, just as the real chocolate did as well. I only let, part of it. I'm always the kind of a fan that I find it easier to melt less and go super slow, because you can always add more heat. Once you go to the other side of Seasville, you ain't coming back. I mean, you are not coming back. It's over. So let's say you don't have to have like a fancy situation. It's basically a pot of water and a bowl. You can do this in the microwave. I have 100% done it in the microwave, especially if I just need like a little bit of chocolate to do like a design or something. So you just want to do the same thing. And I find a glass bowl works the best, because the glass will still maintain the heat of the microwave while it's out. So when I microwave it, I will do it like 15 seconds at a time, take it out, keep stirring and stirring. If I see it's not moving anywhere, another 10 to 15 seconds, and I keep doing that. And then you'll see that it's the same thing. So let me see. Monica says, I thought you're not supposed to put steam on chocolate. Is that true? You don't want water on chocolate, but you absolutely will heat chocolate in a double boiler with steam underneath it, but you never want the barrier of it broken where the water can enter the chocolate. Because when the water enters the chocolate, it will seize right up and be stuck. So as you can see, it's not as beautiful as our other one. It still works, but you see how it's not as pretty. And that's the difference between, you can do it, but that's the difference between wafers and real chocolate. So now me personally, I like to do the white chocolate like this. This is my design. And I do milk chocolate and dark chocolate in the other. I will dip real white from like Calabo or Ghirardelli or whatever. I will do that, but I feel like it has like a yellowish tinge, and I'm such a color person that just isn't my favorite. But I'll show you what it looks like when you dip a strawberry in it. So we can all show together. So, and you can see it still works, but you see how different, you see the difference, how you see the lines. It's because it's like cooling, you know what I'm saying? And it's not as pretty. But if you take it and you put it in a bag and you do designs with it, it works perfect. So as long as the water doesn't touch it, it won't sweat through. Exactly. Like as long as you don't get it wet, it won't seize up. It has nothing to do with sweating. It won't seize up into like a hard block is really the situation. And as you can see, because it is hot chocolate, but it's not hot. I mean, it's still like almost, it's no hotter than your body. So when you, let's see, when you, let me get that, oh my goodness, let me get this over here and do this for her. So have you ever injected liquors into strawberries before dipping? Yes. I like to dip, I've done Chambord, I've done Grand Marnier, I've done all of that, but, so here, let's see if you can see my hand. Okay, so this is my favorite part of, the white chocolate does this beautifully. See how it just does a design? It does that beautifully. So we'll save that for the side, and let's go back to dipping all of our milk chocolate so that we can get these all dipped, and then we'll get them in the fridge, and then we'll make them all beautiful. So let me see. Oh, you love my kitchen. Thank you. My favorite color is purple. So I will say my kitchen is very, well, here's purple. There's purple. Is very purple. Everything's purple. I love purple. It's crazy. Thank you for loving my hair. Okay, so back to dipping strawberries. Remember, we're going to take our strawberry by the stem and we're going to place it into the chocolate. We're going to swish it around. And so you see, even after the chocolate was sitting not on the heat, it's still completely beautiful. Still completely beautiful. So look, it's still ribbony. It's still loose. It's just, it's such the difference between the wafer versus, the real chocolate. Oh, another purple lover. Oh, and I love your name. It's so unique, which I'm sure you probably get that a lot. And you're like, oh my God, the girl's lame. I've heard that my whole entire life, but you gotta do what you gotta do. If you always want to take that little extra off, then it will absolutely sit and it won't get the extra lines and the big, when you get that blob, like you put it down and you're like, oh my God, it's like the chocolate blob that keeps going. You won't get that when you like squish off the tush. It's all about squishing the tush. Thank you so much for loving my kitchen. Oh my gosh, I literally live in here. So I built my kitchen back in 2011, and then I expanded it in 14, and it is like my little heaven, and it's so nice. I have kids, but I can come in here and do everything until in my pajamas at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you see, and then what do? You swish off the tush and you flip it up. Okay, I'm going to traipse over here. See, I just want to make sure you know where I go. Okay, I'm going to traipse over here, look, and I'm going to put these in the fridge so this way that they will harden up, and then we can decorate them beautifully. So, let's come back and then we'll see how, so yes, Tina, this is, it's a commercial kitchen attached to my house. So it is completely separate, and it's licensed and registered, and it's separate from my own personal kitchen. So this way, when I'm baking and doing everything, I don't, you know, and I have to go make dinner for the family, I don't have to like mess up what I'm doing. I can just kind of close the door and be like, shit, it's not a disaster. It's all good. Okay, are you ready? So let's see if we can get some pretty white ones out of these. If we can't, we can't. You know, it is what it is. It's, you know, it's live, Facebook Live. It either works or it doesn't. But look how beautiful this leaf is. Beautiful leaf. So what is do we have anyone like from very, very far away? I am in Virginia. Anyone in Virginia? No? Look at her. Look at her. See, she really cases. It does look different. And here's the deal. You got to, first of all, it's all edible. So it can't be that bad. And as long as it tastes good. But look, this is the type of thing when it doesn't get all, oh my God, Wisconsin. When it doesn't get all gorgeous and glossy, you just do extra decorations. Oh my God, look at everyone. Florida, Illinois, Virginia, Minnesota. I love your airport. Got stuck there for 6 hours one time. It was fantastic. Okay, so wipe it off so that you don't get the little thingy. Let me lean this down so that you can see. Oh, and my favorite girl in Montreal. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, here we go. Let's continue on. Oh, Southwest Georgia. Colorado. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. I mean, I feel like I'm having my own little party and no one's here. You know, the kids are gone. My son's car broke down. God knows where he is now. It's all good. Why? Because we're dipping strawberries. San Jose, California. I'm from California. Another Californian. Ooh, Maine. So, what is everyone doing for Valentine's? Is anyone making chocolate dipped strawberries? I hope so. I hope everyone's like, dang, these are not hard at all. I am gonna tackle this and everyone's gonna love it. And oh my goodness, and Sherry from Kingston, yes, you did, you spoke to me. Cookies for King's Dominion. Good old King's Dominion, yes. Oh my gosh, thank you for calling me funny. I will be honest with you, it's like having your party by yourself because no one's really talking to you, but at least I'm reading it, so it's entertaining. I'm having fun. I hope everyone's having fun. I think next time we should do it together. Like you guys get all your stuff and I'll have my stuff and we'll squish our tushes together. It'll be a good time. Oh, Christy is doing it now. Oh my goodness. Okay, yes, Denise, these are candy melts right now. And then I also, if you weren't on here earlier, the milk chocolate is real chocolate, but these ones are technically wafers / you know, candy melts or whatever. But never my favorite to do. And Karen did, oh, you did do injections? What did you inject it with? I love them injected, but you know, it's not fun when a kid accidentally gets a little Schomburg in her strawberry and she's like all on the floor. But you know, maybe it actually isn't that bad of an idea. Let's go back to chocolate because I think they're just so much better. So oh, Candace wants to know if I cut this with heavy cream or something. Absolutely not. There's nothing in it. So the moment you put cream in it, it's now gonna become a ganache. I'm just gonna wash my hands when I talk to you. It'll become a ganache and therefore it will never fully harden to that chocolate form. Now I'm gonna slide this way and get a towel. But see, you can hear me, it's all good. Okay, so it'll never fully harden, and so that's why you really want nothing to be put into it. Okay, wait, I'm gonna go get the other ones, and we'll put these in. Look, you can come with me. It'll be like an adventure. We'll put these in, and then we'll do our little design, because if, look at, I talk so much, it's already 9:30, so please don't go, because, you know, I can't go. Okay. So, you see how pretty they are? They're shiny, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Okay, now let's do the decorations. So here's the deal. I I use a piping bag because I do piping bags all the time for everything. You do not need to do a piping bag. You can also do a Ziploc bag. So here, I'll show you the first time with a piping bag, and then the second time I will show you with a Ziploc, because you know what, at the end of the day, everything shouldn't cost you a fortune. You can do it with what you've got. I just want to make sure, because I'm a lefty. Everyone always says, oh my God, it's backwards. And I say, everything I've learned was backwards. Okay, so, but see, look, we were talking and look what happened. You see what happened? It got hot, it got cold. So, I'll show you the Ziploc bag now, because my little edge got hard. So I'm gonna cut my little tip off, and I will squirt this into my Ziploc. Are you ready? And then you go to the edge of your Ziploc right here and cut just ever so slightly, because you just really want like a ribbony. Let's check. Okay. I would do more, but you'll get the gist. Okay, you ready? All right. So you're just going to go back and forth. And when it hardens, can everyone see that? Hopefully, I'll do again. But you see the little white canned chocolate around it? We'll break that off, it's fine. Angela, so I do love Ghirardelli. I think Ghirardelli is great. I just happen to use Callebaut. I got started on it, and it's my cocoa powder, and I just stuck with it. I just became a Callebautian. I don't know if that's a thing. I kind of made it up, but we'll see. Okay, and then we'll just keep going. And I know this is the same technique that you would use if you make cake pops or whatever, cake balls, things like that, on your hot chocolate bombs, all that other jazz. Okay, so as you saw, everyone is decorated, and as you see, there's the little white chocolate on the paper. It's totally fine, because once we pick them up, they snap right off. So I'm gonna go one more time. Oh, and how do I feel about Magic Shell chocolate? I do not like it. I think Magic Shell belongs on ice cream. That's just my personal opinion. But I've also never really dipped it, but I highly recommend it. Like, you never know. So I'm gonna pop these in the freezer just to move it along, because I've taken so much of your time tonight, and I feel horrible about that. But, you know, so I get my strawberries, honestly, I bought them at Costco. We have BJ's here, and we have Wegmans here, which I will be honest with you, they sell some like gorgeous strawberries. Like, look at this strawberry. And look at this leaf. Like, you can go and you can buy stemmed strawberries to dip, but these aren't. These are just, I don't even know what these are like strawberries that have like flowers on them. Like, these are like the longest leaves of my life I've ever seen. You are gonna love to do this, Angela. It's gonna be your favorite thing. Okay, wait. I don't know if they're ready yet, but let's talk about boxing. Okay, let's move on to boxing. Okay, so packaging is like my most favorite thing ever. And what are cake balls? Oh, cake balls are like cake pops, but they do not have the stick. So if you don't know what a cake pop is, or cake ball, it is essentially cake that's mixed with a bit of ice cream. I don't know, ice cream. Cake that's mixed with a bit of buttercream to hold it together. It's kind of rolled into a ball, it's frozen, a stick goes in, it's dipped in chocolate. And then there are people that decorate them elaborately and beautifully. I hate them, but that's just me. Everyone else can love them. It's not my thing. The hot chocolate bombs are my favorite. I'm all into it. Wait, look, I'm gonna turn you around so you can see my bucket of hot chocolate bomb stuff over here that I have to make. I have like all these molds. I'm super excited. Best thing ever. I highly recommend getting into it. All right, pepper. I charge $25 a dozen for my strawberries. I kind of really feel like it all depends on your area you're in and what's going on with your skill level and your area and your quality of strawberry and your quality of chocolate. So you've got to kind of do what works for you. You really need to figure out how much it costs to make it, what your time is worth. I pay myself, like I'm literally free, but you have to do what works. So you go with that. And then I have a box, because I love boxes. I get my boxes from BRP Boxes. They're my favorite. Oh, I'm so glad, Marie, you hate them too. And then I use parchment. This is just a parchment circle because I have them. You can absolutely cut parchment to fit. You can cut it not to fit. And then you go with that. Oh, Barbara, thanks for the mixer. Okay, are you ready? So look, box, parchment. Here's the number one thing that I recommend do not do. Do not take your chocolate chip strawberry and wrap it in plastic. Because here's what ends up happening. The moisture from the strawberry and the chocolate being sealed into the package will make it sweat. So if you're going to wrap it in the chocolate strawberry in the package, it can't go back in the fridge and it needs to kind of be eaten that same day. Karen, I charge $25 a dozen, but you gotta do what works in your area. Oh, wait. You can come with me. Okay, hurry. Let's go get the freezer and get our stuff. Oh, they're done. All right. Oops, my order fell. Okay, so now let's get to packaging. It's like my favorite part. So, when you pick them up, you'll see it's right here, all this stuff. Watch, I swear this is what it's the funniest thing. I just knock it, and it fell right off. They just come right off. I only lift this up because okay, see? And then you knock it takes off all your extra. She will not be upset. She will understand, and you can't hurt her because she's all good. They're all good. They're flexible. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. All right. So we packaged them all up. So let's, alrighty. Look at that, packaged. Okay. So they're all right here. And usually I would put a dozen in here. And then I'm a ribbon lover. I don't know about you, but I think ribbons just make everything so pretty. So pretty. I hope everyone loves ribbons. How do you keep them from molding? I'm making some Friday for Saturday and I'm scared. You gotta, Barbara, definitely keep them in the fridge. Just don't package them. So mine would be in the fridge. Ta-da! Mine would be in the fridge just on this cookie sheet, just like you saw it. And I would not package it up into the box until the day of, because I just don't like to risk, putting them into anything. But definitely, that's always the best. So here's your chocolate dip strawberries. I hope everyone had a good time. One last thing I want to talk about. So I know a lot of people have seen, we have our cookie scribe and our magnet that has all the conversions. And we will be doing a cookie demo of decorated sugar cookies, which will use the scribe, coming soon. I haven't figured out when I'm doing it, but we will do it. So if you would like to order a scribe and a magnet package, you can. If you just want just the magnet, you can order it too. The link is on the page. Oh my God, Melissa, I totally should have my own show. I know. This was a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. I've also taken I think way too much of your time. Oh, I'm like 9 minutes over. I think this is fantastic. But, Shandon, you said, yeah, I do leave them on the sheet pan. I do love them. I get my boxes at BRP Boxes. But here's what I'm gonna do, because I know this was so much information. First, this whole entire video will be on the page. I hope so. I think Christy said yeah. Then after that, all the little things I talked about of the tips and the tricks and how much I charge and where the boxes are and all these little things, I will add them. So kind of like your Cliff Notes, they'll be your baking notes. And you can go back to that. Oh my gosh, and then I'm gonna see Sylvia and Cookie Con in a couple weeks. All right, I absolutely had a blast. I hope everyone enjoyed it. This was the first of many tutorials, and I know that we have so many coming up, and I hope to see everyone again. And happy baking and happy dipping. If you have any questions or you freak out, You can always message me or ask me questions. And what about edible gold? How hard are the bombs? I promise the bombs aren't hard. We'll do a bomb. Let's do bombs. We'll do bombs. We can totally do bombs. They're not hard and they're not intimidating. I promise. It's like super easy. It's hot chocolate. How can you go wrong? All right. I love everyone. I hope you all have a great night and I will see you soon. Mwah.